18 of the World Hockey Championship. Adam Blosky, Stefan Herleman are the referees for this game between Kazakhstan and Slovakia. A game that has import for both teams. Slovakia trying to chase down a playoff spot, a quarterfinal berth. And Kazakhstan's Galam Mamalev is behind the bench. Interim head coach of their national team, the slated head coach, was not given a visa. He's a Belarusian, wasn't allowed to enter the country of Latvia. Craig Ramsey, the 72-year-old, has been the coach of the Slovak national team since 2018. Got them to a bronze medal at the Olympics in Beijing in 2022. Slovakia right now is 4 points behind Latvia for the last playoff spot in Group B. Slovakia has Kazakhstan today, Slovenia on Sunday, Norway on Tuesday.
That's a good finishing schedule.
So even though they are 1-2-1, because overtime loss, a shootout loss to Canada, a win against Latvia, that's the key for them.
Importantly, a tiebreaker against Latvia that is in their favor as well. If they run the table, they'll make it no problem. Even if they win 2 of the 3, they have a very good chance of making it.
Kazakhstan has 2 points.
If they get 2 more, they're golden.
Probably. That would render their game against Slovenia, would likely render their game against Slovenia on Monday meaningless. Slovenia currently has no points.
They're well aware. All these countries are well aware. It's like a minor hockey tournament.
Yep, they're following what's going on. They know what the permutations and combinations are. And away we go. In the opening period earlier today, in this arena, Latvia, another white knuckler, 3-2 over Slovenia. Grivik works in. And the Slovak captain, Marek Grivik, plays that back around for Hudacek. Libor Hudacek banks it back for Rivik. Former New York Ranger and Calgary Flame. Rivik plays that to Panik. Richard Panik tried to dig that free. And it's picked up by Samat Dinayar. Last year in the World Championship, Kazakhstan had 6 foreign-born players. As Kulk takes that shot, it's kicked out by Shutov. This year, none. Richard Panik spins out of the corner, throws that back across, and it's intercepted by Rivera.
Kazakhstan a little bit like Slovakia in the sense that, yes, they lost to Switzerland and to Canada and the Czech, and not close games. But the one game against the second-tier group, against Norway, they won.
Down 2-0 and 3-1 of that game, came back to win it in a shootout. And those 2 points crucial in their bid to stay in the top division. They're in it for the 3rd consecutive year. Mihalis banks that back to Grentz. And picked up by Samuel Kanashko. Plays that back to center ice. Slovaks open with a 3-2 loss to Czechia in their first game, then beat Latvia 2-1. A 2-1 shootout loss to Canada, and a 4-2 loss to Switzerland on Thursday.
Craig Ramsey understands the nature of their schedule. It was top-heavy, and at the start was very difficult. Played against all the best teams. Now they finish against the teams that will be lower in the group. And the question becomes, can they produce offense against these teams? They've scored 2, 2, 2, and 2. So, you know, they're going to need to find goals somewhere along the way. Sounds like the Toronto Maple Leafs in the playoffs. 2s across the board.
Ivan up for Kellerman. He's taken down. Play continues. Lots of Slovak fans here this Friday night. Lemitov. That sharp angle shot taken by Muratov goes wide. Once again, the hotels and bars in Riga filling up this weekend. Holiday weekend in a lot of European countries. So a lot of fans make a weekend of it, and the schedulers know that. Lantoshi moves up. Plays that in deep. That pass is broken up by Denayer. And fired back down by Omer Bekov. Rosendic pokes at it, Lantoshi. Swings it across to Regenda. And Regenda knocked off the puck. Slovakia with 10 members now of the team that won a bronze medal in the Beijing Olympics. Shestakov moves in for Kazakhstan. Arkady Shestakov playing his third World Championship. And that pass missed him. Icing called against the Kazakhs.
Well, I'm going to see a bottleneck in the neutral zone from both teams. As again to look at that. Oh, that's a big hit. Maybe a little bit late. Omer Bekov was watching his pass, and then another one where again almost gets a stick up a little high. Mindful of that. It feels like both teams would probably be pleased with a low event, non-track meet. Doesn't mean I'll be pleased with that, but they'll both be pleased with it.
Nemitz. Rink wide for Kolk with a shot that deflected just wide. Here's Romerev, chips that back to center ice and scooped up there by Patrick Kolk. Plays for Vitkovica in the Czech Extra League. A lot of these Slovaks do. It was 30 years ago the velvet divorce between the Czechs and Slovaks. The former Czechoslovakia splitting into two countries. Right in the middle of the World Junior Championship that year. Marchenko drops that back. And Nemitz has it back. Simon Nemitz, the second overall pick in the last NHL draft, plays that ahead. Oreha plays it on. Panik knocked that down for Slovakia. Here's Hudacek on it. That puck is picked up by Marek Rivik. Rivik back with it for Panik. Richard Panik slides that back. Nashko to Panik. Spins it back in deep, looking for Rivik. He chipped on the side of the goal, and it's scooped up there by Polahov. Kirill Polahov. Up ahead for Kirill Savitsky. Kanashko leaves it there for Rivik. Hudacek was changing as the pass went in behind him. Nikita Vihailis winds his way in, a slippery and dangerous Kazakh player. Moves that back at the point, slammed back in by the Hanbak. Now a centering pass that broke the stick of Kazakhstan's Maxim Muhammadov.
Terrible timing. Nice play from behind the net, side to side, high slot. Just stick failed him.
Kellerman tanked that back. Andre Kadurna, who made his tournament debut in Slovakia's game against Switzerland.
For the goal,
yeah. We've seen that more than once in this tournament.
Why are you holding me out, coach?
Ivan goes back for it and leaves it there for Rozandic. Miroslav Rozandic scored against the Czechs in Slovakia's opener. Also got kicked out of the game for kneeing. Lantoshi with a head of steam. Drives it across the line. Feeds it across. Tamashi couldn't bat that down. At the line, Kolk with it. Kolk got moved off the puck. Shestakov was all over him. Got us. Lead passer again, and Lantoshi with a shot. Turned away by Shutov. Andrei Shutov has allowed 5 goals in each of his last 2 starts. He got the win in the opener against Norway. Stopped 5 of the 6 shots he faced in the shootout. It's amazing in a tournament like this what one result can do, positively or negatively.
Well, when you're a team that may only get 3 or 4 points,
right,
picking up a stray 1 or 2 here or there, that's unexpected. A big difference.
Janishik plays on ahead, and a shot by Chaho is gloved by Shutov. 13:37 to go in a scoreless first period here in Riga. Slovaks on the ice once in a while. You will not outfund them. Their fans have been in evidence and heard throughout the first week of this tournament.
That Slovensko song is rings through the streets at night and in the rink.
Vivek drops that back off to Simon Nemec. Had a great first pro year in North America with Utica of the American League, New Jersey's farm team. Panik winds back in. Panik shoots, kicked up by Shutov. Rebound goes to Hudacek. Hudacek spins back at center ice. Panik drops it back to Vivek. That centering pass goes off the stick of Nemec. Mihalis can't knock it out. Panik centers for Rivik. Rivik going to slide that back in front. Shutov drops his stick and grabs the puck with his blocker hand. Dominic Hasek was the first goaltender I saw do that.
Yeah, and it makes sense. It's hard to get a frozen puck it's on your right side of your body, so a lot of goaltenders now comfortable dropping it instinctively and grabbing with your blocker hand. Shutov, who's been a busy goaltender, started the first 3 games. Boyarkin got the call versus Canada, and Shutov right back in there against Slovakia. They're looking for one standout performance, just one.
They need that.
And then they would likely be good for next year.
14th last year, Kazakhstan lost 1 goal games against Slovakia, Germany, Switzerland, and France.
And those are the ones you got to find a way to get a result in, because they're going to play in them all the time.
Kellerman plays that back. The shot by Kanashko is blocked. Now a chance for Green shooting, and that shot by Mahamadov is kicked away by Levi. Moderna with a shot that deflects wide. 2 years ago here, they beat Latvia and Finland in shootouts. They lost to Norway in their last game that cost them a quarterfinal spot. Their 10th place finish was their best ever in the tournament. That pass offside at the Kazakh line.
Yeah, little details by Lantoshi there. You're going to recognize getting over the blue line before you pull it back. And you mentioned Mahamadov off to the races, but just as he's about to release it, Mashko gets back with his stick to make it easier save for Levi.
Again, they got bottled up along the boards. He finds Kolk with it. Sarchenko came in, forced that free for Shestakov. Couldn't jam it home at the side of the net. Shestakov took a hard bump. Tamashi up the center ice for Rugenda. And the near knocked that down and played it back in. Shestakov trying to work that free. Sarchenko comes in for it. Sarchenko. Good pass back. Holoha. Backhands it back in front. Chipped there by Starchenko and a good save by Levi.
Battle in front. Starchenko. The battle continues after the whistle. He eyeballs Regenda. But it was Gaidos and Starchenko tangled up, fighting for position in front of the net. And even when you have a guy stick tied up, you have to be mindful of skates and body parts, and there's one off the skate of Gaidos. Levi has to be sure of. The wily veteran, Roman Starchenko, 37 years old. Has been in World Championships of different levels for about 15 years now.
Yeah, a lot of Division 1A and 1B in that. Nikita Mihalis, whose dad was the coach of this Kazakh national team, was taken down. Then we got a hooking call against Slovakia with 10:53 to go in the period. Oliver Okular goes off.
Trying to chase Mihalis after. Could be a hook, could be a trip.
Minor penalty for hooking.
Yeah. Can opener in the stick there. It's that pivot point off the hip that I've talked about. You you get chasing with your stick on the wrong side of the pile, you're taking the longer route. You got to jump that to the inside, meet Michaelis where he wants to go. Chase him around the outside, you'll never catch him when he's a good skater. Beat him to the spot, beat him there.
Kazakhstan so far on the power play, 2 for 5. It's their 6th power play of the tournament.
That's the problem as well, you're not drawing enough.
Bekateev. Starchenko. Bekateev to Michaelis. Finds some room, slides that back. Bekateev. And the hard shot taken by Starchenko was stopped by Levi. A pile up on the side of the goal.
A slow trickler looked like it fell out of Levi. Starchenko comes up high, attacks downhill, wrister through, and where's that puck? Oh, I think Shestakov and Romarev were acting as though it fell behind. He was sitting, squeezed between the pad and the pants of Levi. Wow. If that drops, that might be trouble. Squeezes just enough.
Special teams were an issue for the Slovaks in their opener against Czechia. As Bekateev moves in, drops that back to Starchenko, to Bekateev, across to Michaelis. Walks it and shoots, flip that wide. Slovaks were up 2-1 of the Czechs in the second period, gave up a short-handed goal to tie the game, and the Czechs scored in the power play to grab the lead. Michaelis, for Romarev, chips that down on goal. Levi quickly gobbles that up.
Let's try to take the give and go entry. He is the most dynamic skater on that first unit. And he's good for 5 to 8 moments a game where he pops up and like there he is, dangerous. He might go other times you don't notice that he pops up again and creates something. He's always got his legs moving. Good little player.
Had the tying goal against Norway in the third period that sent that game to overtime. Kazakhstan wound up winning it in a shootout. They've now won 4 consecutive shootouts at the World Championship.
Just get it to extra time.
Just get it past 60, they're in good shape. Well, 65 actually. The record overtime just so-so. Oreha spins that across to Savitsky for Grits.
A good dummy.
At the point, Oreha shoots. That was blocked. Now Rivik back the other way. Gaidos blocked that shot. He's slow to get up. Rivik works in short-handed. Oreha, who has a power play goal for Kazakhstan, swings back with it. A player you liked last year.
Yeah, he's strong on his skates, young enough, 23 years old. I think I want to catch the attention of some of these several NHL scouts that are here at the tournament. Always trying to find the next unsigned free agent that maybe you could bring over at 23, 24 to fill out your NHL roster or even your American League roster.
The poster child for that is Artemi Panarin, signed to this World Championship by Chicago a few years ago, but there's been a host of others.
And Orehov would be a guy that maybe would garner a look.
There's Gaidos on the Slovak bench after blocking that shot.
Yeah, I love the dummy play by Mahometov. Let the puck go through his skates. Mario Lemieux is smiling somewhere.
Bekateev turns it over to Chaho. Chaho walks in short-handed, trying to jam that short side. Shutov makes the save. Final seconds of the Kazakh power play. Bekateev up into Romarev, streaking in, shoots. Levi makes the stop on that. Shestakov in the corner with it. Has a look back from Denier. As Okular stepped out of the box, and here's Regenda with it. Regenda for Rosandic. That pass broken up and knocked away by Grants. Bekateev.
That got Craig Ramsey.
I think Craig Ramsey, the Slovak coach behind the bench.
A little off kilter there for a second. Hope he's okay.
No score here in the first. That's one of my favorite jerseys in international hockey. That Slovak uniform has the words of the national anthem stenciled into it.
Very cool. You think it might just be piping or lines, but it's the actual words of the anthem.
Yeah.
In what language?
Slovak. Yeah. In Tampere, Finland right now, 1-1, Austria and Germany. Austria just scored a power play goal.
Germany's got to make sure to not slip up against a team like Austria. They're trying to find fourth in Group A. They had their big showdown with Norway, likely the 4-5 matchup that Germany was able to win a wild one, 6-4 in the end. We could use a wild one. Sorry, Denmark, Germany beat.
Denmark and Norway are...
I'm not making that mistake, sorry. Norway's in our group, Denmark in their group.
We have Slovenia, Slovakia tomorrow.
You do, I will be...
Where are you going to be for that?
I'll be watching you go to work.
That's Sunday, I think.
Good luck. I know we have 3 games tomorrow after this one, but let's focus on this one for now.
Don't worry about those other ones.
Clearly, I need all my attention here.
Here's Nemitz with it. Simon Nemitz. Lost that down. Shutov gloves that and hangs on.
We saw Nemitz in the last game. He played monster minutes.
He literally came off a plane and just started playing.
Almost 25 minutes in the game. Now, he's young. He's used to playing a lot.
Yeah.
And as Craig Ramsey said, he wants to play a lot. He wants to be the guy. He wants to be out there in every situation. He wants you to keep tapping and say, go again. So they do, but there are moments last game where he looked absolutely exhausted.
Regenda spins that back in front. Tamashi couldn't knock it down. Now Kanashko shot that went way wide. Regenda rings it back around. Kanashko waiting for it. Emma Kanashko, third round pick at Columbus a couple of years ago. Regenda moves that back. Kanashko played for Cleveland last year in the American Hockey League. Halivan for Regenda. Spins that back in. The puck moved back down to the Kazakh zone. A chance now. Walking in. A quick shot there for Rachmanov. That's knocked away by Levi.
Lost his angle the last minute. The threat of going to the backhand was closed off, so Levi could be aggressive on the shot.
Samuel Levi, just 21 years of age, making a name for himself in this tournament. He's got a .949 save percentage.
It's been excellent.
He's undrafted. He played in 3 World Junior Championships for Slovakia. Just okay numbers with Sherbrooke and a couple of years in the Quebec League. Left him undrafted.
Goaltenders are tricky. I mean, the likelihood of a 4th rounder making it is about the same as a 2nd or 1st.
Now plays back in front. Kadurna with a shot that deflects off the stick of Karjan. And it goes out of play.
Rachmanov thinks he's got a break here. Picks up a puck down the wall. And he, at this angle, you think, okay, if I can take it across the front of the net, but look at Ivan. A shot out of a cannon. Barely back to the middle. Rachmanov wisely elects to shoot because he was not going to get anywhere else near the front of the net.
Wow.
We haven't seen Ivan open it up that way.
William Cha, who's up for the face-off now, has the highest recorded speed for a skater in the tournament.
37.6 kilometers an hour. Keep an eye on who can maybe top that at some point.
That's speeding in a school zone, I think.
So as long as you're not much more than 20% over the speed limit, you should be okay. Not in school zones, everywhere else.
I was going to say, the preceding comment was not endorsed. Bekateev, he falls at Chaho up high with his stick. Chaho lays that back for Nemitz. It bounced off his stick and out. Nemitz, a veteran of the World Junior, the World Championship at the Olympics as a 19-year-old for Slovakia. Okular shoots, and Shutov made an off-balance save. It hangs on. No score here in the first period between Slovakia and Kazakhstan. No score here in the first period. Kazakhstan has lost 3 in a row by fairly one-sided margins. 5-1 to Czechia, 5-0 to Switzerland, 5-1 to Canada. The problem has been first period goals. Shutov kicks that up. They've given up 18 goals in the tournament, 9 in the first period. So,
and they're not built to chase games.
Right.
The longer they keep it tight, the better they're going to be.
Now a chance that's fired wide by Dmitry Grentz.
So far in this period, they've done a pretty good job keeping it to the outside.
Kosh. Knocked off the puck there by Grentz. But Kazakhstan has thrown scares into teams in recent years in this tournament. Puck. Back with it. Shoot! Scores! Long shot, bounces off, shoots off and in. And Slovakia has grabbed the lead.
When they grab that puck as well, is that Patrick Koch's first goal?
It is.
For the men's senior team. Good work. 3 guys on the pile, outnumber, go through the seam, and then stagger screens. Oh, yeah. Tough for Shutov. His defenseman, watch Orehov, dive out of the way right in the last minute. He turns his back and ducks. He stands upright, maybe that catches a piece, but he's right in the eye line of Shutov. Budacek, not me, I didn't tip it, no chance of a high stick. That is all Koch for the lead.
He last played the World Championship 4 years ago in 2019 in Slovakia.
Another interesting out. Been a year in the USHL.
Yeah.
Des Moines and Sioux Eagles. And that's a big goal. You just talked about the problems for Kazakhstan in the first period. First period goal against.
10 of the 19 they've allowed have been in the opening period. As you say, chasing games is not their specialty. They have to grind it out, keep it close. Slovenia cheering for Slovakia in that one. They need to keep the Kazakhs within striking range before they play on Monday.
But then you have Latvia cheering hard for Kazakhstan.
Right, yeah,
Everyone's
exactly.
got someone cheering for them.
The hope for Slovenia would be to set up a one-game winner-take-all showdown on Monday.
And the schedule makers were wise to predict those 2 teams would be likely battling for the last spot. Set up the final day matchup.
Regenda works in. Kazakhstan has Latvia tomorrow. They'll be in the cauldron of this arena with the Latvian fans on a Saturday. Nemetz feeds that across but off a skate. That's moved away by Kadabirov. Yanishek slides that down. Kadabirov got it bumped away. Regenda back on it. Kazan back down to the Slovak zone. Nemetz back for it. Nemetz one of 3 first-round picks from Slovakia in last year's draft. Miroslav Koski went first. Nemetz second. Philip Meshar went later in the first round to Montreal. 22 was a pretty good year for Slovak hockey. A bronze medal at the Olympics. Sarchenko shoots. Lost his stick on the play. And Nemetz feeds that back to center ice. Bouncing puck. Koch moves that out. And here's Koch with it. Steamrolling there over Samadaniar. Good pass, Savitsky. Walks right in and shoots. But I got an arm on that. And Savitsky ranges back. Mihalis pokes at the center ice. Almost picked off by Savitsky on the cross ice pass. Rivik chips it back down to the Kazakh zone. Butenko collides there with Hudacek. Here's Hudacek, moves by the Kazakh goal. Hudacek spins away from Buteyko again, throws it back in front, and Shutov finally holds it.
Rivik and Hudacek doing some good work down on the front of the net. Coach got caught pinching in on a rush. No one gets in behind him, so it's a 2-on-1. Guido's trying to string it out. Pretty good job. Also with the back check as coach is trying to get back. Savitsky. That's a pretty good save by Levi. That was labeled under the bar with the elbow on it. Looks like it's going to be Levi's net to run with right now for Slovakia.
And played for Slovan Bratislava in the Slovak League this year. Also spent some games in the Slovak Second League. Panik. Bratislava Košice were the host cities for the 2019 World Championship. Kanashko. Right back, Rosendean shoots. That's kicked out literally by Kadarov. And bumped back to center ice. Lead pass to Rivik. Shutov steers that away. Polahov races to it. Sarchenko. That's it. That Shestakov trying to knock it out. Picked up by Hudacek. Libor Hudacek throws that back in front. And Shestakov puts a hit for Starchenko. Final minute of the opening period. Slovakia with a 1-0 lead. Kanashko slides that down. Shutov has to glove that and hang on.
And you see the goal score, unlikely goal score. One more look at it. Little fake there from backhand to forehand to buy time though. It's a subtle little move, but it buys some time to let the screens develop in front of Shutov. If he shoots it right away, puck gets saved, but because he waits for the traffic, he's rewarded with the goal.
To the delight of the several thousand Slovak fans here.
Right in behind the bench to let them know.
Mihalis chips that back out. Ivan. Up ahead, Mihalis knocks it down for Polahov. Grintz chips that down, and Levi jumps on that. Little flyby there by Grintz. Threw some attention.
Has to do his best to actually get out of the way to make sure he doesn't bang into Levi. But an offensive zone face-off, never a bad idea. You see Dmitry Grintz, who in his third World Championship, played in the VHL league.
The Russian second league.
Under the KHL.
Yeah, played in Moscow. It was a controversial thing to do this year and last year to play in the KHL. The players who are not from Russia, a number of Canadians did it. Dominic Hasek called for a ban on players playing for the national team if they played in the KHL this year. And Kazakhstan, their top club team, Paris Astana, played in the KHL as a team this year. Kazakhstan's bidding for the World Championship in 2027 against Germany.
And that bid is voted on after the conclusion of this tournament.
Yeah, the day after the IIHF Congress. The fact that some games we played in the KHL arena might be problematic. In this arena, Slovakia's got a 1-0 lead after the opening period on day 8 of the 2023 World Hockey Championship.
luck, boys. White stick.
Hey, he's got it! He's got it! We're good, thank you!
That's a good battle, man. Hey, well done. Well done.
Thank you!
Hey, it's enough. Come on, boys.
Yeah! Skate, Joe.
Defense, we are using just chaos. If the puck flies to the stand, it is returning to the goal system still. You will receive an official puck in return. Thank you for your cooperation.
26-year-old Patrick Koch has the goal for Slovakia, the only goal after the opening 20 minutes. Slovaks are trying to end a two-game losing skid, pick up their second win of this World Championship and get a run down the stretch to make a quarterfinal spot. Kazakhstan tonight, Slovenia Sunday, Norway Tuesday. Three pretty winnable games for them. Kazakhstan's Andrei Shutov will have one goal on 15 shots. Kazakhstan, barring something unexpected, will be battling for...
Yeah, they're not going to make the quarterfinals.
They're trying to stay out of relegation. They'll play Slovenia in the last game on Monday. The round-robin portion wraps up on Tuesday. Quarterfinals are Thursday. There's no relegation tournament anymore. The bottom two teams, one in each group, are relegated. Poland and Great Britain come up next year.
We've seen Great Britain here recently, but haven't had Poland for a while.
There's talk of a joint French-British bid for the 28 World Championship. Paris would be the French end of it. Richard Panik drops that down to Hudacek. Hudacek shoots it, hammered on goal by Riga. Got a good stop there by Shutov. Nemeth a long drive, that was blocked by Bekateev. Another long shot, Shutov the save on Koch. Panik plays it back, and Hudacek had a block by the DR. Nemeth walks right in, little drop pass for Hudacek, shoots, kicked out by Shutov. Shutov shaken up, slow to get to his feet. Something's not right with the Kazakh goaltender. Hudacek slides it back, Nemeth shoots. That was blocked that time by Bekateev, he's hurt.
Mash unit down in the...
Now Starchenko back the other way, shoots, scores! Just like that, a lightning strike for Kazakhstan ties the game.
Just when you think trouble. Shutov's hobbled. Bekateev hasn't gotten up yet. And somehow Starchenko's off on a quick 3-on-2. Drives wide and buries it as Bekateev needs some help to get off the ice.
Well, a brave shot block.
And that one got him. And he's down, but bad change, entire group of Slovak forwards, and it's horrific who's over there playing the right defense. Starchenko takes the hard pass, blows right by him and buries it 5-hole on Levi. And just like that,
Starchenko scored on both of his shootout attempts against Norway as they won that. He has played in 10 lower division IIHF tournaments for Kazakhstan. He's done a lot of heavy lifting over the years, 37 years old. So Shutov didn't look right. As you say, Bekateev blocks his shot. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere.
and the Kazakh bench is half paying attention to the guys hobbled in their own end. But it was such a good first shift in the offensive zone. Nemec was caught up a little bit. Rivik tried to jump the pass.
Great pass by Romero.
And Starchenko gets in behind him, makes no mistake on the line.
Another chance, this time on Mihalis.
Okay.
Stopped by Levi. Kazakhstan has not been an easy out in recent years at the World Championship. We mentioned 1-goal losses last year to Slovakia, Germany, Switzerland, and France. Orehov goes back. Kaderna kicks at it. Here's Ivan back with it. That shot blocked. Picked up by Savitsky. Savitsky works in, holds, feeds it back in front from Mihalis. That was knocked away.
Oh, he's in.
Kellerman.
Oh, no.
And he almost had Regenda in. Now Regenda back with it. A wide open start to the second period. And here's Mihalis with it. He'll be right in the middle of things as it's brought ahead now by Mahometov. Mahometov spins back in the corner. Rubikov. Return pass, shoots, and a leg in front. And Lantoshi back the other way for Slovakia. Steps right around Butenko, shoots out the save.
Seen more of Lantoshi's speed in this game than we have in the earlier ones in the tournament. He can really skate.
Behind back. Had the puck at his feet, taps that back. Penalty coming to Slovakia. So moments after Kazakhstan ties the game, Tamashny will go off, and Kazakhstan goes to the power play.
Craig Ramsey has been lamenting the big mistake. And they make one, and there's the stick gets caught up in between Mahometov's skates. He goes down after giving up a goal on essentially a breakaway. Slovakia will go back to the kill. And their kill has been really good, 13 of 14. It's bailed them out throughout this tournament. And even though they're playing well, goals are hard to come by. You just don't want to have to chase.
Kazakhstan 0 for 1 on the power play, just their 7th power play so far in the tournament. Running now by Kanashko. And Mihalis slings that rink wide for Romero. Romero for Bekateev, who's back out there after blocking that shot. Starchenko, a hard pass for Mihalis. Romero trying to get to it. And Rivik banks that back across, and it's played out. Mihalis for Bekateev. Rink wide, he goes to Romero. Kazakhstan gets set up as Mihalis has it. Mihalis, Bekateev, Starchenko walks right in, drops it back. Bekateev feeds it across, and Mihalis doesn't shoot. Mihalis down to Romero. Back to Mihalis. Inside a minute to go in this power play. Mihalis. Back to Bekateev. Starchenko. Bekateev leads on that shot. And Levi punches that high off the glass. Starchenko played that back for Bekateev. Shestakov comes in to help out and picks that free. Romero pivots back in the corner. 30 seconds to go in the power play. Bedekeev for Mihalis. Drifting in is Romero. They're trying to flip that puck back to him. It goes off a stick and wide.
Lots of possession, but nothing threatening for Kazakhstan. Got to take it to the net.
Romero walks right into the backhand shot. Levi got a piece of that.
There you go.
Mihalis to Bedekeev. Final seconds now on the power play. Mihalis works in, feeds it back across. It went off a stick right on goal, and Levi had to kick that away. Starchenko to Mihalis. Side of the goal, feeds it back, score! Orehov, just as the penalty ended, snaps it home, and Kazakhstan has grabbed the lead.
Well, it took a while. They had the puck in the offensive zone for about 75 seconds straight before finally they catch two Slovak defenders against the boards. Patient by Mihalis, letting the pack drive through before floating a saucer across to Orehov. Good patience here, though. And Orehov's got the top corner to pick if he wants it. Shestakov doesn't interfere with Levi. And what will go down as an even strength goal is essentially a power play goal right after it expired. And Kazakhstan,
wow,
on the strength of two quick ones to start the second period, are up 2-1.
This is Orehov's 15th game of the World Championship. That's his 5th goal.
It's my guy.
I mean, they're basically free players. You can sign a guy out of this tournament.
I mean, you have to know what his contractual status is.
He's 23. I mean,
does he want to go over? There's another penalty coming up to Regenda.
That's Regenda for a slash, and Kazakhstan's going right back to the power play. Craig Ramsey's team is coming unglued here a little in the second period.
Mahometov draws another.
Slovakia, number 87, minor penalty for slashing.
Adam Blosky of Canada is the referee, one of the two. And so back to the power play they go. You mentioned they had a long offensive zone possession, which culminated in the goal that came just after the last penalty expired.
You see Regenda just slap it down on Mahometov's stick. Mostly just unnecessary.
He disagrees.
You can't speak Slovak.
Bedekeev. Starchenko feeds it right back down. Romero feeds it across. Oh, what a save! Rebound, score! Romero, 10 seconds into the power play, and it's 3-1 Kazakhstan. Wow.
Wow. Is right. Two in quick succession. Starts with a one draw. Good help from Mihalis. Bedekeev kicks it back, and they go across crease once. Mihalis doesn't get it, but I think kicks it across with his skates. Right back through. Get a good look at it here. Sort of carries back. Romero, good settle. Nobody knows where the puck is. But you go to the net, you drive, and you get the puck scrambling around. It's hard for the defenders to keep track of where it's at. Guidos doesn't know. Romero certainly does. He puts it in the back of the net.
He's been around a while. This is his 6th World Championship. The 34-year-old. And Kazakhstan strikes 3 times in under 5 minutes to take a 3-1 lead in the game. This has epic consequences on a number of levels.
And now Latvia is...
Shutov punches that away. Mihalis has it back. See, all they got to do is get out of the first period.
Well, half their goals against are scored against in the first. They're cooking now in the second.
He got caved in by Canada. They were down 4-1.
Oh, it's a little fake drop in his own skates. He's a crafty player. 23 for Kazakhstan.
Here he comes again, Mahometov, along with Muratov. Gets it back, Muratov.
He's having a field day going between his own legs.
Mahometov chips it off the back of the net. Colt's back with it. You look at the schedule and figure, well, for Slovakia, it sets up nicely for them. With Kazakhstan, Slovenia, and Norway left, should run the table, make the quarters. Hold the phone.
Always dangerous to assume any result in this tournament.
And a long way to go here, but still, this Slovakia team does not score easily.
I haven't really seen a big upset yet.
Not on this side. Good to check. Drops that back. Tanashko with a shot that's deflected away. Rivik moves back around. We have a lot of close games in Group B. Nemitz back with it. So Slovakia will have to do something it hasn't done yet in the tournament, score more than 2 goals in a game. The Slovaks are chanting, "We want a goal."
Kolyov, a left shot playing on the right-handed stick right now. He had dropped his, was given a stick by Karjan to try to help out after he lost his stick earlier.
He uses that to knock down the pass from Chaho. Ocular with a shot that deflects wide. Kanashko back with it. Kanashko back to Ocular. Plays it back. Ivan shoots. Shutov save. Rebound loose on the side of the goal. Ocular couldn't reach it. It's brought back up by Rachmanov.
You got to get this thing in deep. Got to get it. Take the icing. Good decision. Good decision by Shutov.
Get some tired players off the ice. Romero works back in. Pivots back. Romero. Plays it back around to Shestakov. Got erased by Kanashko. 2 offensive zone penalties by Slovakia in the second period. Have really been costly. Kazakhstan scored just after the first one ended and scored 10 seconds into the second one. Ocular bumped there by Danilo. Bekateev snaps that back down. Icing called against Kazakhstan.
You need your best players to be your best player. Starchenko has had a solid game. Picks up the goal there to get things going, and then secondary assist on Rehavs. Going up one more for a 3-point period for the captain.
Wow.
He looks every bit the 37-year-old grizzled veteran he is, but his top speed is good. Once he gets going, he's a good skater still.
Kaderna's shot was blocked in front. Starchenko plays that rink wide. Bekateev chops at it. And Starchenko flips that back down to the Slovak zone. Kazakhstan has never beaten Slovakia at the World Championship. Last year, Slovakia won 4-3. Kazakhstan led that game 2-1 in the second period. Kaderna with a shot that deflects wide. That shot by Kellerman, deflected wide. Kellerman back within the corner. Works it back in front, hammered wide by Kaderna. Here's Sukel back with it. Up ahead to Panik. Richard Panik works in, backhands that wide. Orehov with it. Savitsky. Moving in his footed check, but the play's offside at the Kazakh line. 3-1 Kazakhstan leads in the second period. Roman Starchenko is Kazakhstan's all-time leader in games played, goals, and points at the World Championship. Like his 41st game at the Worlds. His first World Championship in the top division was in 2006 here in Riga.
He was here for the first one, here for the second one, and now he's here for the third one. Will be his last one.
You know, you've been around a long time. You go through 3 rotations of a host city. Now, this was re-awarded to Riga after 2021 when fans weren't permitted in the building, so they felt like they owed the Latvians one. And they have fully taken advantage of it. This has been an exceptional first week of the tournament. To Hanbek. For Muratov. Mohametov works in. Mohametov walks in. Fan of that shot. Muratov walks right in. Holds and shoots. Oh, he missed the open net. That was blocked.
Nemec. Empty net. Saved it. Slovakia took a penalty after the fact, but that was it. That was an empty netter turned aside.
9:15 to go. It's all Kazakhstan here in the second. Kazakhstan up 3-1 on Slovakia. Moments ago, Simon Nemec saved a goal with a shot block. And right after that, Derek Grivik, the captain, was called for a hook. He didn't like the call very much. But Kazakhstan's going back on the power play for the 3rd time. Check out the 4th time in the period.
They've got one official power play goal, one right after it expired.
Right.
Essentially 2 of the 3 goals they've scored have been on the power play in this period.
Starchenko leaves that for Bekateyev. Back down to Starchenko. These fingerprints are all over this thing. Mihalis walks in, feeds across to Romero. Shestakov posting up in front. Romero shoots from a sharp angle. Levi knocked that away. Here's Mihalis back on it for Bekateyev. Bekateyev to Mihalis, works in, shoots, glove save by Levi. This has been a high event second period.
Fantastic. What a chance here by Muratov. Grabs the loose puck, good pump fake, wide open net, just dump it in the empty net, but Nemec closes up the 5-hole, and then the battle there below the goal line was the penalty. It was nothing that Rivik did, but he picked up the hook. Muratov cannot believe he did. Against the player, you got to shoot it by their face or by their ankles. That's the hardest part for them to block, to move quickly. In their midsection, they can play goal, but they can't move their feet. If you ever get an empty net with a player in between you.
That's good to know.
Well, almost like an empty net, or shoot it through their legs. They can't close their legs.
9:57. That's unlikely to happen for me again, but
you can relay the message to Muratov next time he finds himself in this
it's good
situation.
for the half for me, though. Starchenko moves in, sends it back in front, tipped wide by Mihalis. At the point, Bekateyev for Starchenko. Pass broken up and sent down by Mihailov. If you're Kazakhstan, you got to keep the foot in the gas here, right?
Well, you're on the power play here. One more really puts you in a great spot. You know Slovakia has a hard time scoring goals.
Bekateyev works in his poke check.
And you have to assume at some point you're picking up some penalties as well.
Kellerman moves in. Last 4 power plays have gone to Kazakhstan, going back to the first period.
And not much to complain about until maybe this last one.
Muratov to Mohametov. 15 seconds to go in the power play. Koch for the bouncing puck. Off the side glass. Savitsky pokes at that, but it goes into the Kazakh bench.
Kazakhstan first unit, not too many looks. They tried one off the rush. Starchenko with the speed wide. He's trying to find Mihailov on the give and go. Jump inside the check and get hard on your bottom hand. It went off his skate extend. Levi still had to kick it aside. Once you establish body position, doesn't really matter how big you are. It's hard to move players out of the spot once they get inside position.
And watching this game closely, Latvia, as you mentioned, and Slovenia. If Kazakhstan were to win this game in regulation,
spells the end for Slovenia.
they'd have to get 2 points tomorrow night against Slovakia to have any chance to shut up a winner-take-all on Monday.
Well, basically, they got to get to 4 to catch Norway, or 5, I suppose, to pass Norway. Yeah, they'd have to win their last 2 games.
Panik with it, shoots, saved by Shutov. I know a penalty coming to Kazakhstan. It's going to be Mahamatov who goes off for a slash with 7:09 to go.
Well, he's drawn 2. Now he's taken 1. Stuff in the stat sheet.
Team Kazakhstan.
So this will be Slovakia's first power play of the game.
Since the second period, they've gone on this run as Mahamatov heads to the box.
Power plays 3 for 12 in the tournament. Romiak, Cehlarik, and Regenda have the power play goal. Cehlarek's hurt and has not been back for Slovakia.
Romiak's the 13th forward, hasn't played a second, I don't think, in this game.
And Betekev, who plays a big role for Kazakhstan in all situations, sends it down the ice. Great big guy, 6'5", 210 pounds. He's a little rough around the edges, but it's pretty good.
Gets in the way, occasionally gets his stick caught up in the wrong spots.
Panik plays that back for Simon Nemec.
A good pull. Get your backside out of your forehand and find a gap. Well done by Deniar.
Brought in by Rivik. The captain sets things up. Slovakia needs a spark here. Nemec. Back for Rivik. Rivik walks and shoots. Kicked up by Shutov. And much like Slovenia was against Czechia, up 2 in the second period. Desperate to get this to the intermission, right? Nemec shoots. Whistle not just wide. And it's just for Panik, and Shutov got a piece of that.
Save.
Rivik walks in, feeds it across. That was blocked by Savitsky.
No pressure now for Betekev, who could barely stand upright.
Exhausted penalty killers out there. Played across. Rivik shoots. Shutov got a piece of that. Kemlin plays that back, held by Nemec. Panik works it back. Rivik shoots. That goes just wide. Shutov down. These penalty killers are on empty. Played back across. Panik holds. Shutov down and jam away. Shutov's got it. And these beleaguered Kazakh penalty killers can finally leave the ice.
All 4 of them buckled.
Savitsky is exhausted. Betekev can barely waddle back to the bench.
And good pressure. Chances that one off Deniar's skate. Gets over to Panik. He tries the short side stuff, but Shutov not only the save, but boy, he needed the cover desperately. Stress on the faces of Slovakia, knowing that they could lose control of their own destiny if they were to lose this game. Hopefully they're in a good spot with their opponents, the remaining 3 opponents. Gotta win the games.
Slovakia's made the quarters each of the last 2 years of the World Championship. Lost both times, but getting the Final Four in their group is their primary goal. Balahov poked at that and played back down to the Kazakh zone. In the Slovenia-Czechia game, Slovenia had a 2-0 lead with 2 to go in the second period. But a late power play goal by Czechia got them back in the game. Shestakov fires that wide. They blew it open in the third period. And for Kazakhstan, you've got to think going to the room up by 2 is
what they probably need.
Right.
More than want.
Lantoshi winds his way in. Lantoshi feeds that back for Kanashko. Skipped off his stick for a moment. Now Lantoshi back with it.
Another penalty coming up to our
Suka
guy.
was flattened in front by Benakayev. Gajos. Legenda. Suka. Extra skater is on. Here's Hudacek with it. Hudacek. Winds back across. In comes Hudacek. A shot. He fired it wide. Rivik slides that down, takes a return pass and fires, shoots on the glove save. But with 3:54 to go in the second period, Slovakia is going back on the power play. So we talked about what happened with the Czechs and Slovenians. Kind of the same situation here. A late power play for Slovakia. Down 2. Chance to climb back in it here. Get back within 1. As Adil Bekateev goes off for a cross check. And it was a $5 cross check. Hudacek sets it up on the Slovak power play. For Nimitz. Back to Hudacek, shoots! Blocked in front, Polahov can't play it out. Hudacek slides that back down, Pollock backhanded that wide. Nimitz back across. And a chance for Rivik, pounded that wide, it goes back out. I mentioned Kazakhstan has never beaten Slovakia at the World Championship. They do have a notable international win against them.
A tough change here. Late one by Kazakhstan.
There's Nimitz with it. Feeds that back for Hudacek. Nimitz. Feeds for Hudacek. Slid down to Pollock. Here's Hudacek. Back for Nimitz. Slaps it across. Hudacek fires. You hit that wide, short side. The puck goes up and out. In 1998 in Nagano, Kazakhstan beat Slovakia in the qualification tournament for the Olympics. Slovakia was not able to play in that tournament.
Really? I think Shutov getting the top of his stick on this one.
Yep.
I thought I heard a little tick off the top of the stick.
It's amazing how often that happens.
To the point where some guys don't like to shoot there as often because lucky, skill, whatever, that's just another impediment to the puck going in. I just say it's lucky and it's annoying.
Does everything goaltenders do annoy you?
When it comes to stopping pucks, yes. Yes, it does.
Regenda plays that back to Kanashko. To Regenda. Kanashko shoots. All of that. It's fired down the ice by Shestakov. Savitsky, another guy who does some heavy lifting for Kazakhstan. Out there in the penalty kill now. Brought in by Lantoshi. 30 seconds to go in the Slovak power play at the line. It's held by Kanashko. Okular. For Kanashko. Walks it and shoots. That was blocked. Shestakov got in the way of that. Now Lantoshi. Feeds it down. Ocular with it. 10 seconds to go in the power play. Lantoshi fires, and Shutov got a piece of that.
Don't know if he saw it, but he got a blocker on it.
Shutov is slow to get up a lot after saves. But he's hanging in there. Shots in the period are 17 to 10 in favor of the Slovak. Chaho played that back. Teams are back to 5-on-5. Suka centered it at the line. It's held by Koch. Suka slaps it back in front. Oh, what a save by Shutov of Regenda. And he corrals the rebound finally. What a stop that was. And Shutov again is slow to get up.
One of the best of the night. Slap pass coming through. Shutov gets over to Regenda, spins out, gets a lot on that one. Can't elevate, it's a bit behind him, but Shutov gets across and seals the bottom of the net. Good movement to find the lanes, but right now Shutov is giving Kazakhstan the kind of goaltending they need. They need some big saves. They need some help. And he's given to them so far.
Minute 26 to go in the second period.
Get to the intermission is all Kazakhstan is thinking.
Nemec shoots. That deflects high off the glass.
There's Chromiak, one of his rare shifts.
Wow. Late in the second period. You want me to tie it or win it? Always amazed when someone sits for 2 hours after the warm-up and then finally gets a shift. Ivan. And that's knocked down inside a minute to go here in the third. Bekateev played that down, icing called against Kazakhstan.
They're grinding hard, but they haven't had the puck in their offensive zone very much since taking the 3-1 lead. Craig Ramsey trying to stay patient. He's a very calm individual.
Right, he's not gonna
yell and scream and break sticks. He's gonna push in front and try to find solutions.
Driven for the face-off against Shestakov. Panik races to that loose puck. Romero flips that ahead to Starchenko. They'll just post up and slide that back. Yanushek gets jousting in front of the Kazakh bench. The linesmen have to separate them. Rivik winds in with 30 seconds to go in the period. Polahov couldn't clear it out. And racing to it is Hudichev. Way up in the air, bounces back to center ice. Yanushek for Koch. That pass kicked in by Panik. Orehov goes back for it. Savitsky. Rick White goes to Polahov, who leads the rush in the final seconds, plays that in. And Kazakhstan explodes for 3 goals in the second period and takes a 3-1 lead on Slovakia through 40 minutes on day 8 of the 2023 World Championship.
sme si to bojovali svojou ľahkovážnosťou, tak si to poďme aj sami zobrať naspäť.
That's it. Let's go. Let's go. 28-10, 48. Hook here. Okay. Okay, that's it, boys. Good job. Thank you. I like it. Good job, boys.
He is returning to the closest steel. You will receive an official game card in return. Thank you for your cooperation.
Slovak captain Marek Rivik and his teammates have their work cut out for them here in the third period, down 3-1. As Kazakhstan struck 3 times in that second period. This has implications at a number of levels for Slovakia's attempt to get to the quarterfinals, Kazakhstan's attempt to avoid relegation, and also Olympic qualifying. The Olympic qualifying is based on the rankings after this World Championship. Slovakia right now is 8th. Germany's 9th. So if Germany would leap over, potentially could knock Slovakia into a forced qualification. The top 8 teams and the host team get automatic bids. The next 3 spots in the Olympics are determined by 3 qualification tournaments. Slovakia had to play in it in 2021. The question is Russia. Right now is still ranked 3rd.
Okay, so their 9th could become 8th.
Possible.
Possible.
Panik back with it. But those tournaments begin next year at the lower levels. Slovakia would get a bye into the last Olympic qualification round. But it is difficult to play in them. And Norway lost at home to Denmark in the qualification tournament.
That's not what's on top of mind for these guys, but it's amazing to think of the ripple effects of finishing 4th or 5th in your group 1 year when Olympic qualifying is on the horizon. And not to mention this tournament as far as who goes where for the quarters and whether Latvia makes it, they stay, and all the rest.
If Latvia qualifies for the quarterfinals, it will play here. So normally the top 2 seeds in each group stay home, the bottom 2 travel to them, but Finland and Latvia are both guaranteed to play their quarterfinal games at home. So if Latvia finishes 4th, they would stay. The 2nd and 3rd place teams from this group would then go to Tampere to play their quarterfinal game. And the second, potentially, if Finland finishes 3rd, the 2nd and 4th place teams would come over here to play.
And then the 1st place team from the other group would have to come here to play Latvia as well. So lots going on right now, but Andrei Shutov has really been one of the stories of this game. 34 shots through 2 periods.
He's been really good.
And it looks occasionally like he's been laboring in net, like something is bugging him.
He's been grimacing, slow to get up.
I saw him pumping and riding his stick to the corner when Kazakhstan would score a goal. So he is, it's amazing, amazing thing. He is right into this one, knowing what's at stake.
Slovakia has not scored more than twice in any game so far in the World Championship. So 2 in their opening loss to Czechia, 2 in their victory over Latvia, 1 in their shootout loss to Canada, and 2 in their loss to Switzerland. Mihalis works back in for Kazakhstan. Poke check there by Kaderna. Muratov to Mohamadov. Drops that back to the taker with a shot steered away by Levi. Slovakia back in action against Slovenia on Sunday and then closes out the preliminary round against Norway on Tuesday. Looked like a pretty low resistance path to the quarters for them, with Kazakhstan, Slovenia, and Norway, the 3 lowest ranked teams in the group, left on their schedule. But doesn't always work that way. Behind back. Swings back for that.
Another icing for Kazakhstan.
Means more action in front of Andrei Shutov as his night has been flamboyant, athletic, acrobatic, you name it, and sneaky good. And all the saves he has to make. The one wrister by Pope early in the game that got by him through a screen, but other than that, if he's seen it, he's been stopping it.
And it shoots, that goes through.
you're going to see a blue wall in front of him anytime there's a point shot coming down now, as Kazakhstan is fully invested in doing anything they can to secure this victory.
Can we just point out how sweet these Kazakhstan uniforms are, these blue ones?
They're nice. I like them a lot. Generally speaking, national uniforms are always pretty good. What about them?
Nemitz with it, can't hold the line, knocked out by Karjan.
I say don't touch it, it's a glove pass. Rachmanov did not realize that. Karjan put his hand on it, trying to grab it.
It melted the first 3 minutes out of this period.
And that's all they're trying to do. Grind them out, good shift, play in the offensive zone, be smart. Make sure that there are always layers back. Just don't give up anything easy. Don't give up 2-on-1s, 3-on-2s, breaks. Make sure there's always people back to defend. That doesn't mean stand there. I mean, you know, if you have it, make a play.
Right.
But if you don't, make a safe one.
Roman Starchenko, the captain, a big factor, figured in all 3 goals in that second period. Here's Starchenko with it. Shestakov, the veteran hands on the ice for Kazakhstan. Rink wide to Janishek. Janishek feeds it back in front. Regenda's shot was blocked by Romero. 5 guys down low for Kazakhstan.
It's out.
Yeah, Kaido's played that back in, and now Kazakhstan has time to regroup and complete a change.
You don't have to press like crazy if you're Slovakia yet. You won't have an aggressive mindset, but you're probably going to have the puck most of the period anyways.
That puck bounces into the Kazakh bench and play is called.
You know, if you start forcing too much, if you start being too aggressive, you almost play into Kazakhstan's counter-attacking hands. So it's a little game of cat and mouse, at least until about the 10-minute mark. And then you kind of got to get going. If you're Slovakia and you have not scored a second goal.
Polahov knocked down there by Lantoshi, the forecheck. I know it's natural to, you know, want to defend the lead, but you were so successful in that last period pressuring. And
human nature is tricky that way. It's hard to convince yourself when you're in the lead not to have a little passivity.
Mihalis for Savitsky. Mihalis back with it. Kazakhstan changing gears. It's knocked away by Tamashi. For Lantoshi. Butenko goes back. Lantoshi knocked that by him. Rink wide pass to Suko. Suko in, shoots. Shoots on the save. Hudacek looking for it. Hudacek was literally held up on his way to the net. Kazakh defender with a handful of his shirt. Paderna up for Mihalivan. The defenseman jumps up. Throws it back in front. That's knocked away by the Hanbach. 5 gone here in the third period. Kellerman. For Paderna.
Just in the trenches.
Janishek shoots, glove by Shutov. And he hangs on it, shakes his head again after a save.
Maybe he just likes dealing with the pain. I'm sure it is, but it's just so many bodies back around the front of the net.
That guy was really depressed with himself on the scoreboard. That could have
brightens anyone day. Slovakia, I think they're going to have to work the top of the offensive zone. Around the front of the net, initially around the boards, there's going to be Kazakhstan defenders, but there might be space, especially in the middle on the blue line of the offensive zone. They're able to get control.
Romero.
Nice play.
Bump back to Shestakov. Starchenko, Shestakov, Romero getting lots of time here in the third period. And now Regenda, rink wide pass for Rivik. Rivik shoots, that's blocked. As hustling back was Gadamirov. Rosendic. Slovakia looking for a spark here in the third period. Panik drops it back in the corner. Rivik with it. Rivik sends it back in front. Just missed Panik with that pass. Panik taken down. Penalty coming to Danira. As Panik was taken down, and Slovakia will go to the power play with 13:49 to go in the third. Slovakia back on the power play here. They've had the last 3 in the game. And a key moment here in the third period. And a key moment on this side of the draw in the tournament. This game has implications for 4 teams, really. Latvia in the chase for the final quarterfinal spot. Slovenia in the fight not to get relegated, and the 2 teams competing. You would have thought Slovakia had the edge on a quarterfinal spot going in.
The remaining schedule, Norway and Slovenia to follow this game.
Ocular for Lantoshi. Long way to go here in the third, though. Kellerman walks in and fires. Shutov save. Suko back with it. For Kanashko. Kanashko back to Ocular. Kanashko. Ocular shoots. That was blocked. Ocular gets it back. Feeds it across. Shutov down. Tikhaev on the goal line. The referee watching closely. The puck still loose. Kanashko knocks it free. Oh, what a stop. And another. No. Unbelievable. How did Shutov keep that out? How is that puck not in the net?
Twice!
Ocular. Back to Panik. 45 seconds to go in the power play. And a chance. Fired by Kanashko. That was blocked as well. Ocular. Back to Kanashko. Lantoshi. He shoots. It goes off a leg and wide. 25 seconds to go in the power play. Lantoshi back across. Ocular walks in and fires. That was blocked again. 2 great blocks there by the handback, but 2 unbelievable saves by Shutov, who was literally down and out.
No idea how either one didn't go in. He was facing the wrong direction. That was an outrageous sequence we've seen in this tournament.
Sanayer steps back in. It remains a 3-1 game. How is an open question. Brought in now by Omar Berkov. Polk sends that back out. Rivik 2-on-1 with Panik. Rivik for Panik, loose in front. Backhand scores! And Slovakia is right back in it.
How do you get caught on a bad change? What is going on in the Kazakhstan bench that you have Polahov jumping out with no speed at all? What looks like a 2-on-1.
So it's a 2-on-2. It's supposed to be, but here comes Polahov. He should have been on the ice ages before. And everything gets all mixed up. Makateyev has got no speed. Panik gets it behind him. This is a beautiful play by Rivik. Nice feed. Poke check. 0-0, you call it. Panik, no mistake, goes upstairs to close it to 1.
His first goal of this World Championship, just his second in 32 games played for Slovakia at the World.
Gotta have it. I mean, after that power play sequence, you gotta have it. And so, Slovakia right back in this game. We are in for a wild finish. Penalty coming up, using their hand in off the face-off.
It is.
Savitsky, Shestakov.
It's against the rules to do that.
The refs are going to talk about it, make sure they got the call correct. It appeared as though Adam Blowski, the official from Canada, number 16, had made the original call.
Number 64, Kazakhstan, minor penalty for face-off violation.
And so after a wild power play and a goal, they go back to a power play.
The center ice face-off, you can't do that.
I mean, it could not be any more clear. I'm not sure what he's arguing about. Now, if it's no longer considered part of the face-off, I don't know when the face-off sequence ends and the play begins, where you can use your hand. But that's not it. That was a penalty and lapse in judgment.
So 3-2, Kazakhstan leads, and Slovakia goes back on the power play. Now what's the discussion?
Where the face-off is going to end up. And here you see the sequence earlier. Puck bouncing on top, everyone down. Look at Shutov facing runway, pulls out against his pad, and there's one save.
But the puck was like, I think that was Shestakov.
Shestakov who comes over the glove. This is Ocular, wide open, and he gets a leg on it. Nachko as well, and all for naught, as they score a goal anyways right after the power play expired. Now, here they go again, trying to tie it up.
Nemitz winds back out. Rivik for Hudacek. All kinds of momentum now for Slovakia. Regenda drops that back around, picked up by Panik. Panik sets it up for Hudacek. Rink wide to Rivik. Rivik back for Nemitz. Hudacek. That pass picked off, flipped ahead. Chastar short-handed. And Rachmanov couldn't quite get there. Here's Rivik back with it, approaching the midway point of the third period. Nemitz drops that back for Rivik. Rink wide, he goes for Panik. Hudacek. Back for Nemitz. Nemitz shoots! Shutov got just a piece of that, it trickled wide. And moved back down the ice by Grentz. Winding back in his Hudacek for Rivik. Back down to Regenda. Regenda pokes that back around. Makes into it and firing down the ice is Omerbekov. 10 to go in the third. 3-2 Kazakhstan leading. Kazakhstan has never beaten Slovakia at the World Championship. Ocular. Tied up, fed back in front, poked down the ice by Rachmanov. Final seconds of the Slovak power play. Kanashko drops that back to Ocular. Shestakov steps back on. Ocular shoots, it's off the stick of Polahov. Up and out of play. A one-goal game here in the third period in Riga. Shots are 10-1 Slovakia here in the third period.
It's been crazy. Fun for us, not so fun if you're Kazakhstan trying to navigate this finish.
Lunter back in the corner with it. Back to Kosh. Skip back out. He's going to fire it back in, but the Slovaks have to tag back up. That gives Pekateev time to bring it in. Skips that back down. Knocked away by Levan. Kamashi. That's center ice. Banged back in by Denier. Chaho. William Chaho comes in 1-on-4. Shoots from a sharp angle. Shutov makes the save and hangs on to that. It feels like every save he makes, you wonder if he's going to get back up again.
Well, he's grinding it out. He's been busy. 45 shots against now. As Chaho goes on the mad dash. Never a bad idea. Let's put everything in the net. There's a real chaotic feeling in the building.
Right.
And it spills down to the ice. Maybe it emanates from the ice. And pucks, rebounds, traffic just add to that.
Off the draw. The face-off not done fairly.
It's a good job by Mihalis, though. That's how you get out and block a shot of a quick face-off loss. He was right on top of Kaderna when he wanted to release it.
Suko for the face-off against Gretz. Ivan throws it back in front, just missed Nimitz with that pass cross ice. Skipped out, Mihalis now with a chance. In comes the hit on Mihalis. Looking back for help to arrive, Mihalis. A rare foray into the offensive zone here for Kazakhstan in the third period.
Take all the time you can get.
The ice is barely disturbed at this end.
Nice and fresh.
Kaderna works back in behind Muratov. Now, Kellerman had it knocked away, and Nemitz goes back. Muratov bears it on him. It's Nemitz every second shift now for Slovakia. 8 to go in the third period. Played back down to the Kazakh zone. Icing waved off. Out at center ice. That's chipped back in by Rachmanov. And Janishik back to pick it up. Panik moves back in. Rachmanov pokes at it. And Janishik swings back for it. Run across the line. Regenda fires it in. Panik. Lost the handle. Picked up now by Karjan. Karjan with Shestakov. Shestakov in. Shoes Lavaga. Just a piece of that.
Game saver. That would have been it. I got across to take it away. Save.
Fired back down by Lantoshi. Starchenko for Rivera. Flip back ahead. Ocular for Lantoshi. Pekateev. Denier couldn't clear that out. Hudacek shoot! Shutov save! Rebound! Scooped up there by Denier. Rivera sends that back down to the Slovak zone. Kanasko back to pick it up. There is Koch with it. Suka winds back across. He was poke checked by Mihalis. Inside 6 to go here in the third. Suka flips that down to the Kazakh zone. Orehov with it.
That is the highest
way up in
flip.
there.
He hit the rafters.
Didn't even get to the clock. He actually hit the girders of the building. 3-2, 5:38 to go in the third. .38 to go in the third period. Slovakia trailing Kazakhstan 3-2. Slovaks experienced heartache on home ice in 2019 at the World Championship. They gave a last-second goal literally to Canada. Mark Stone scored with 1 second left in regulation as Canada pulled out a 6-5 win in that one. And then Germany scored twice in the last 2 minutes to beat Slovakia, and those lost points cost them a quarterfinal spot. And again, that was Olympic qualification year. Slovakia dropped to 9th in the world rankings and had to go to Olympic qualifying. They did win it and won a bronze medal in Beijing, but it's a longer road. So 5 minutes here to figure things out against Kazakhstan, a team that's never beaten them at the World Championship. Stolen now by Regenda. That flips to the side of the goal. Shutov gloves that.
Under 5 now. Kazakhstan has to be super organized on their bench. They'll be changing while defending. Got to be locked in on your assignments and aware of who's going next. Communication with the coach and throughout the bench has got to be.
And remember, this
right
head coach, Galim Mambatelayev, was not slated to be the head coach of this Kazakh team. It was supposed to be Alexei Skabelka, but he's Belarusian and was denied an entry visa to Latvia.
The other where games are won at this time is right there. 10 feet inside the blue line if you're Kazakhstan. How many times can you make plays to get it out?
Side of the goal, Mihalis bats at that, pulls it free and shoots, and forces Levi to freeze that. The faceoff will be a long way from the Kazakh net.
It's unlikely you're going to get clean breakouts, so you got to manage the puck along the wall, win your battles, get it over the blue line, advance it up the ice, and force Slovakia to come the full 200 feet.
And now Craig Ramsey's got to start thinking about goalie out, timeout, and the buttons to push to try to get his team back on the scoreboard. Slovakia on 2 goals, hasn't scored more than 2 in a game yet in the tournament. Kanashko winds it back across to Suko. Up ahead for Koch. Who has a goal for Slovakia in this game. Right he goes for Kaderna. Suko races to it, drops that back to Kanashko. Cross for Koch, shoots. Fluttering puck goes high and wide. 4 to go here in the third. That's lifted high in the air as well by Mahamatov, but not out. Kaderna. Back for Koch. Kanashko shoots. He hammered that wide. And now moved out by Muratov. He finds over Berkov, who sends that back in deep, and Kazakhstan can change. Now it's stolen. By Sartikler, shoots, he fired that wide. Comes up the other side for Regenda, but to center ice. Welcome those of you who are watching the Germany-Austria game in Tampere, Finland. Slovakia rather in Kazakhstan. Locked in a battle here. Regenda works in and shoots, scores! Pavel Regenda ties the game with 3:02 to go. Slovakia's come back from 3-1 down here in the third to tie this game with 3 to go. And now the entire complexion of this game and this group changes.
You needed something special. And Rivik again leads it up, kicks it over, nice little backhand pass. Look at the gap there. Denier is so deep. You can't, look where he's standing. He's standing almost on the top of the blue line, all pivoted the wrong way. Inside, outside, gets it onto his forehand. And a puck you'd love Shutov to get a blocker on, even though it was a very hard shot. But even when you defend, Gordon, you got to get up to move back together.
Regenda, playing in his 13th game for Slovakia in the World Championship, has 7 goals.
That's goals last tournament.
Signed as a free agent by Anaheim last summer. Played 14 games for the Ducks and 50 games for San Diego in the American League. So 3-3 the score. And again, it's 3 points for regulation win, 2 for an overtime or shootout win. Yvonne fires that down. Oreja. That's taken away. Now poked ahead. Mihalis streaked ahead. The pass missed him. Levi out to play it. And Yvonne streaked back to pick that up. Now stolen by Mihalis. Took it from Nemitz. Fires. Ripped that wide. Lantoshi back the other way as things open up here late in the third. Lantoshi pivots back. Drops it off to Nemitz. Nemitz feeds that down to the goal mouth. Tipped wide by Hudacek. Hudacek pivots back, has some room. Banks it back across to Nemitz. Inside, 2 to go here in the third. Hudacek. Trying to go through Muratov. Race for it now. Nemitz has to go back. The puck was played with a high stick. And play is called.
Hudacek thought he was going to have the little cut. We saw Chervenka score one like this. As he tries to come out and chop it in, just not enough angle to be created.
Gord, think back to when the game was 3-2, and Levi made that save on a 2-on-1.
Yeah.
On Shestakov, would have made it 4-2, a brilliant save. Probably would have ended the game. Now they've tied it up.
You call it a game saver at the time.
Slovakia's not done yet. The 3-2-1 makes them continue to push all the way through.
Slovakia comes in with 4 points. 4 points behind Latvia for the last quarterfinal spot. Their game in hand is this one.
Have the all-important tiebreaker against
They do that.
Latvia, so that is significant.
Latvia's got Kazakhstan tomorrow, Switzerland on Tuesday. Kaderna. And it's back. It's poked by Shutov. Rivera back with it. A minute to go in the third period. Kazakhstan's only win was a shootout victory in its opener against Norway.
They know that they're money in the shootouts if they can get there.
They've won 4 straight at the World Championship. Slovakia lost a shootout to Canada. Rivik winds his way in and shoots. Shoots off the save, and he hangs on to that. 32 seconds to go in the third.
And Marek Rivik, the captain, we talked about before the game. 3 big points for him. Queuing up the comeback, hasn't found the back net himself, but has points on all 3 goals. A couple of nice primary looks on the last 2. Leading your team back in it and trying to close it out before they get to overtime.
by Shutov.
Man!
You couldn't draw a face-off play up better than that.
He walks right into it, off, gets a jump, gets a touch from Regenda, right where he wants it. Shutov comes flying out with a glove save.
And they'll try it again. Shestakov for the face-off. Goes back, Ponick fired it wide. It was the same play.
He can't believe he went blocker side that time. Had even a better look.
Orehov with it. Kazakhstan would like to melt this clock down. Regenda kept it alive. Rivik down to Ponick. Final seconds now in the period. Ponick centers it. Rivik shoots it towards the goal. Regenda couldn't reach it. Ivan pokes at it. And a move down. Late bid there by Romerov is poke checked by Nemetz. And time expires here in regulation. Slovakia and Kazakhstan are going to overtime, tied at 3. On to overtime we go. On this day 8 of the World Hockey Championship.
Shutov battled hard, 49 shots against. But if you were to ask him, he'd say the last one by Regenda, he should save.
Kazakhstan is 0-2 in overtime at the World Championship, but 4-1 in shootouts.
So they got to survive the next 5 minutes of 3-on-3.
Slovakia is 3-4 in overtime. Shootouts have not been their specialty. 2-6 after the loss to Canada. 3-on-3 in OT. And a lot on the line here. If Kazakhstan were to win this in shootout or in overtime, that would put a serious dent in Slovenia's hopes of having a winner-take-all game against Kazakhstan on Monday. Kazakhstan would have 4 points then, Slovenia has none. And Slovenia plays Slovakia on Sunday. That pass is icing, and back down to the Kazakh zone it goes.
Now we've been defending. You got to play 3-on-3. You got Romarov out there. You got Starchenko. And now after that icing, Craig Ramsey throws out Rivik and Ponick.
No matter what happens here, though, you have to think for Slovakia, they're leaving at least 1 point on the table.
Yeah.
At the point, Kanashko chopped away by Starchenko. Lead pass. In comes Romero with a breakaway. Romero in. Stopped by Levi. Oh, what a chance that was. In fact, to come the other way. 2-on-1 for Slovakia. Rivet back across. That's broken up by Oreja. Oh. Ow. Hello, overtime.
Paddle down. Levi taking it away.
Podek works in. Podek pivots back around. Nemeth steps on the ice. Rivik.
Rivik's tired.
Checked there by Mihalis, and Mihalis works out. In comes Mihalis. He's got help coming. Mihalis pulls it back around to Rehov with it. And Podek swoops back to pick it up for the Slovaks. Here is Nemeth with it. Feeds it back across to Suko. Suko plays it back around. Omer Bekov pivots back behind the goal. Minute and a half gone in the OT. Polahov. With Kazakhstan changing by some time.
What's this guy doing?
Polahov. Slides it across. Muratov. Mahometov. Trying for Muratov. In! Levi down. And the puck rolled off the stick of Muratov.
No stick
Levi's
for
lost
Levi.
his stick. It's played back by Koch. And now Regenda back with it. Pavel Regenda. Scored to send this game in overtime. Poke check there by Mahometov. Regenda
Got him.
throws that rink wide. Tomashi works in, shoots, and Shutov makes a great save. Starchenko back the other way. Looks for Shestakov. Bekateev was alone in front there for Kazakhstan. They couldn't find him.
It's good stuff. Back and forth. Both teams looking for a win.
Kellerman races ahead by Mihalis. In comes Kellerman, and Mihalis got back. Got a stick on him. Now Mihalis back with it. Flips it ahead. Romerov in a race now with Kanashko. In comes Romerov again. Works back in, shoots. Levi makes the stop. The Kazakhs are up demanding a penalty shot. They thought he was hooked. And Lantoshi, Romero defending. Lantoshi goes by him, can't roll that by. He goes flying.
Now Slovakia wants a penalty, and they probably are right. He was hooked and tripped.
Kanashko back with it. 90 seconds to go in the overtime. Lantoshi pivots back. Rink wide is Nemeth. On Oreja. Flips it back for Rivik. Marek Rivik with 3 assists in the game. Feeds it back to Podek. Works it back in between his legs. Couldn't get a shot away.
Miles out of the net there. Flying out.
Minute to go in the OT. Polahov. Bottle up there by Podek and Rivik. They try to work it free. Here's Nemeth on it. Podek. Swings back in the corner. Tired Kazakhs on the ice now. Podek. Swings that back to Nemeth. That's picked up by Polahov. Polahov. Just buys some time and slides that back over Berkov. Kazakhstan gets a change in. So does Slovakia. 30 seconds to go in overtime. Muratov winds his way in. Muratov in deep, looks back to Mahometov. Mahometov, Bekateev walks it and shoots. It goes off a skate as that was blocked by Kadurna. 10 seconds to go in the OT. Muratov kicks at it, picked up by Koch. Up for Kadurna, and Slovakia and Kazakhstan are going to go to a shootout. Wow.
Miro Shatan, leaders of the Slovakia team, watching with great interest. Romerov had 2 breakaways First one paddled down as he tries to go backhand, forehand. Then Toshi gets a hook from Tamashi. He goes in, that's a good blocker save. And then here's the next breakaway. He gets it through the legs, but it slides out the back door. And one more, here's the hook into the hands, absolutely. And then the poke check, knocking down that Toshi. And I'm out of breath watching it.
3-3 the score. The shootout is coming up.
Select heads or tails. This side is heads, tails, okay? Once it's gonna, we'll let him go on the ice, okay?
Kazakhstan has won 4 consecutive shootouts at the World Hockey Championship going back to 2017. Kazakhstan won its opener against Norway in a shootout, coming back from two-goal deficits to win it. Slovakia lost a shootout to Canada. Both went long.
In the Kazakhstan-Norway shootout, it was Starchenko who scored both goals for Kazakhstan.
Starchenko scored both their goals. No one else found the back of the net.
There's a 5-shooter shootout.
Yeah.
After 5 shots, it's tied. They flip rotation, so the team that went second now goes first, and you can use the same player as many times as you want, starting at 6.
And this is where Jonathan Taves, TJ Oshie, and others
legends are made.
Have made their name. All right. Kazakhstan won the toss and will shoot first. And they're going with Kirill Savitsky. Savitsky comes in, scores!
Slow and steady. And takes it in, cross away, and flips a changeup, blocker side, a lot of fakes, a lot of stick play, and just gently put it up there.
He was not chosen to shoot in the first shootout. Now Hudacek winds his way in, scores!
Well. Sells the shot, Shutov bites, and rolls it to the backhand. Shutov down hard and empty net for Hudacek.
He wasn't chosen to shoot for Slovakia last time against Canada, so you changed it up a little bit.
Third time's the charm. He had 2 in overtime.
Remember, 2 breakaways in overtime. Winds in, scores! They're 3 for 3 so far.
Figures I can't beat him, deking him. I tried twice. Might as well shoot it. A bit of a strange release. Pulls it across his body. Sort of scoops it right in the top corner.
Rivik did shoot the first time against Canada. He lost control of the puck going in. Rivik shoots, and Shutov makes an easy save on that.
Shutov is very quick with his pads. Rivik tries to slip 1-5 hole, and Shutov can get down in a hurry. Not much there.
Muratov with it. Round 3 begins. Kazakhstan leading 2-1. Katya Muratov in. Oh, what a goal! Oh my goodness. No wonder they love shootouts so much.
He's going with the bean pot. Sell backhand, slam on the brakes. And then slide right on out of the net. That is perfectly done. Muratov.
Lantoshi moves in now for Slovakia. Shutov got a tip of the glove on that.
Trying to go above the pad, not above the glove. And Shutov takes the bottom of the net away and just gets a piece of it with his pad.
And now Mihalis can win it for Kazakhstan. Mihalis works in, scores! Kazakhstan's done it again! Another shootout win. They've won 5 straight shootouts at the World Championship, and they take down Slovakia 4-3. Kazakhstan beats Slovakia for the first time ever at the World Championship.
Well, you set it up with their success in shootouts. They just dropped a 4-for-4. That's not heard of. Little around the world, I love it. And just saucer pass, top glove. Tough shootout for Levi. Beat every time.
So Kazakhstan has 2 wins, both via shootouts. Slovakia has lost 2 shootouts, and these extra points they've left behind may be the difference if they don't get to the quarterfinals.
Shutov celebrates as he had a 48 save performance. And they couldn't get it done in regulation, but for Kazakhstan, it doesn't matter quite so much.
They've got 4 points now, though. So if Slovenia loses tomorrow,
which makes
to Slovakia, that'll be it.
Then they're good.
That'll be Slovenia relegated. The time now for the player of the game presentations, and then the Kazakh national anthem for the second time in the tournament.
Counselor of the Embassy of the Republic of Kazakhstan in Latvia, and Anna Petrovic, IIHF uniform service provider.
Labākos apbalvos Kazahstānas konsuls Latvijā Eriks Sugurbekovs un Starptautiskās hokeja federācijas uniformu servisa vadītāja Anna Petroviča.
Best player for Team Slovakia.
Labākais spēlētājs Slovākijas komandā.
Number 27, numur 27, Marek Hrivik. Best player for Team Kazakhstan.
Labākais spēlētājs Kazahstānas izlasē.
Number 43, numur 43, Andrei Shutov.
Feeling good enough to skate over there. He looked like he was laboring at times in the game, but with the way he played, start to finish.
And now the national anthem, My Kazakhstan.
Please rise if you are able to for the national anthem of Republic of Kazakhstan.
Lūdzam godināt Kazahstānas valsts himnu.
The 2023 IIHF Basketball World Championship will continue tomorrow in Riga at 12:20 p.m. with the game Norway against Czechia.
Obviously a disappointing loss for the team. Still managed to get a point. Was the difference in this game the penalties in that first period?
Yeah, I mean, after great first period, we start second period, great first shift. We had like 4 great goal chances, and then they score a goal. They scored 2 more goals in power play. Our stupid fouls, and I don't know.
Seems as though their goaltender Shutov really had your number and made some pretty excellent saves. What can you say about their goaltender's performance today?
Yeah, I mean he was great. 51 shots, just 3 goals. Yeah, he was great.
All right, and then in your own language, just your thoughts on the game today, and what the team will take away moving forward.
Tak bol to veľmi ťažký zápas pre nás. Myslím si, že po prvej výbornej tretine sme začali druhú tiež výborne prvým striedaním. Mali sme výborné šance, bohužiaľ hneď na to dali nám gól, dva hlúpe fauly, dostali sme hneď na 3-1 a proti Kazachom sa už ťažko otáča takýto zápas. Yeah, thank you.
Your team must like shootouts. That's 2 wins now with 2 shootouts.
Yeah, we had 2 shootouts and we was lucky. We have technical. We did in training a lot shootout. So good win. Everything perfect.
You scored in the shootout. Did you know what you were going to do going in?
Yeah, I did on training. I tried. So it was good move. So I scored.
Your thoughts on the game and how your team performed?
Yeah, I said before we had a problem in first period. We lost every time, but yesterday we talked too much, so we played well first period. But we have to play all game. You know, we win 3-1, so easy. But it's hockey. It's good. It's perfect.
And can you answer that question in your language?
Да, это была хорошая игра. Мы выиграли по буллитам. Мы очень много тренируем буллитов. Нам повезло где-то больше, но нам нужно стараться играть до конца. Выигрывая 3-1, нам нужно играть до конца. Но мы победили, это самое главное. Хуан Казах ели. So good.
Thank you.
Yep.
Congrats.
Я просто, чтобы пятерка вышла. Ты понял?
Когда спиной? Да. А прям шару, он там сперва должен был забивать.
IIHF uniform service provider.
Labākos apbalvos Kazahstānas konsuls Latvijā Eriks Sogurbekovs un Starptautiskās hokeja federācijas uniformu servisa vadītāja.
Ой, не снимайте это.